And
what, if anything, did you find in the Chaos Reader directory?
Well, I actually found hundreds of files, but I focused on the files between the date of May 11th and May 15th. In addition, I had found the 2 emails and the 5 images that match the images that were published in the newspaper.
Okay. Could you please look at tab 5 and please describe the document there?
Yes, I found the 2 email messages with the MIME encoded attachments, and this just shows that they were in session 4 and session 13 of the Snoop packets. So what I did is I decoded the MIME attachments and discovered that the first email had 1 attachment, and the second one had 4 attachments that were included in a zip file.
Okay. I believe now is the time we will take a look at those photos. I would like to warn the jury these may be somewhat disturbing.
I believe PETA also has a ongoing litigation.
Goodness gracious me, oh my. But before we slap you in the face with these, I'd like to ask the witness, did you find any indication as to the author of the Flesh Reader program in the code?
I did. It was the system administrator, Brian Martin. I found the source code on the computer system itself, and it had his information in it.
Thank you. Okay. Flipping to tab 6. Could you identify?
Oof. One of the images.
Are you certain? I believe it may be one of the emails.
Was it the email? Oh, tab 6 you said. Ah, gotcha.
This is so well oiled.
Keep going.
And we would move to admit Exhibit 6 into evidence.
Any objection?
No, none at all.
Admitted into evidence.
All right. And so could you please describe what we're looking at here?
This is session 4, one of the sessions that contain the single image and the email.
Okay. Could you please, I'm sorry, flip to tab 7?
Oh, yeah. That's
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I've been in law enforcement 20 years, and I'm still having
Objection,
problems.
Your Honor, he's grandstanding.
Stick to the testimony, sir.
Yes, sir. That's the image.
I would move that Exhibit 7 be admitted.
Any objection based on the rules of evidence?
No, Your Honor.
Could you please publish to the
I'm
jury?
dying to see this, so go ahead.
Again, the prosecution apologizes that you have to see this. There are sick bags at your feet if you need them. Moving on as quickly as possible to tab 7. Could you please identify the document in tab 7?
Oh, that would be the session 13. That was the information that came out of session 13 packet.
Okay. May we move this into evidence and publish to the jury, Your Honor?
I assume you're referring to Exhibit 8.
Oh, yes, Your Honor.
Any objection?
If it gets that photo off the screen, Your Honor,
right.
We would like you to do that, please.
It's admitted into evidence.
It's okay.
And could you please describe what we're looking at here?
This is the text of the email that I found.
Okay. And could you please look at tabs 9, 10, 11, and 12, and please let me know what those are.
Those are the images that were attached to the. Those are all the images that were attached to the email.
Thank you. We'd like to move 9 through 12 into evidence and publish
Any
to the jury.
objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
One no. Just one no.
think that's enough. Thank you. So, Agent Carroll, do you have any idea who ran this program that collected these emails and photos?
Well, Snoop would need to be run with administrator privileges, so someone with root access.
Okay. Could you verify how administrative access to the machine was defined?
Well, I reviewed the system, the Etsy default login file, and determined that root could only log in from the local console.
Could an administrator gain root access using other methods?
Well, the administrator could gain root access using other methods, like he could log on as himself and then SU to root.
SU to root.
Yes.
Again, a simple country lawyer, but I'll let that pass. Can you determine who SU'd to root?
Well, after examining the varlog SU log file, I determined that the only person that ever SU'd to root was a person using Brian Martin's login.
Okay, thank you. No further questions.
Do you have any questions, Mr. Rowan?
I do, Your Honor.
Kick his ass.
Afternoon, Agent Carroll. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
If you could turn back a page in the thing that's not a script in front of you, I'd like to cover a question. So you talked about Snoop, and you talked about Chaos Reader, but there was this third thing, Flesh Reader.
Yes.
So could you describe, what did Flesh Reader do?
Flesh Reader is a homegrown program that I found the binary and then the subsequent source code. And what it does is it scans a directory of Chaos Reader dumps and then looks at the files and any of the images and does a color gradient analysis. And if it determines that an image has a certain range of colors, it flags it as pornography and then saves it in the Chaos Reader file. If it doesn't, it deletes the session file.
Okay, thank you. Now, let me just make sure I understand the forensic process that you went through here. So the first thing you do is you drive up, you kick down the door, presumably, barge into the server room, and you turn off all the machines. Is that correct?
No, of course not.
Oh, so what do you do then?
Well, we collected volatile data first before we shut the system down.
And what do you mean volatile data? Could you explain to the jury?
Well, this would be capturing all the data that runs in memory.
Okay, and then could you just briefly describe the commands you ran? And in particular, I'd turn your attention to page 23 of Government's Exhibit 1, which had previously been admitted to the evidence. Your Honor, I'd like to publish page 23 to the jury.
It has been done.
Okay, thank you. That's pretty quick. So if I understand this correctly, volatile memory reflects the data that was in memory as opposed to what was on the disk.
Correct.
And it's possible, in your expert opinion, that there was something in volatile memory that wasn't on the disk. Is that correct?
Well, it's possible.
That's fine, thank you. And you checked the disk, correct, for Trojans and backdoors. I believe that was your testimony. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So is it possible that there could have been a Trojan hidden in volatile memory?
Well, it is possible, but again, I didn't find anything that suggested.
That's fine. Thank you for your answer. And then let's talk again about this directory you found that allegedly had the email and the pictures of the senator. You said that the way Flesh Reader and Chaos Reader interact, there were lots of files in this directory. Were there other image files in this directory?
As I stated, 100 or so, yes.
Okay, did you look at any of these other image files? Did you open them up?
I did.
Did you look at all of them?
I did.
Were there any other images of people depicted in any of those files?
Yes.
And how would you say those people were dressed in the pictures that you were looking at?
Less than conference attire.
Specifically, what do you mean? What were they wearing?
Less than beach attire.
Okay. Would you say that there were some pictures in there of people without any clothes on at all?
Yes, there were. And
would you say that there were pictures that you may define in your expert opinion as pornography in that directory?
Sure.
Okay, thank you. Last set of questions for you. Did you obtain any phone records for my client, Brian Martin?
I did.
Did you obtain his home phone records?
I obtained his home phone records, cell phone, and work phone records.
Okay, and any of those 3 sets of phone records, did you find any phone calls from my client to the reporter Ryan Bulat in the range of time that we're describing?
I did not on those phone records.
Okay, and what about email records? Did you obtain, through whatever process, the email records from my client, Brian Martin?
I did, both home and work.
And again, same question. In any of those records, did you find any evidence of email messages being sent from Brian Martin to Ryan Bulat?
Well, no, not on those.
Okay, thank you. No further questions, Your Honor.
Any redirect?
Just a couple, Your Honor. Agent Carroll, in your expert opinion, are there any methods by which a system administrator could send emails that are untraceable or otherwise would not identify the sender as the system administrator?
Absolutely. Any system administrator could easily do it.
Okay. And quickly, regarding the directory of photographs, you mentioned people in less than convention attire and perhaps their birthday suits. Were there any people who were not in a state of undress in that directory, and or were there any photos that were not of people?
Yes, as a matter of fact, there were photos of sand dunes, there were photos of full-face photos, kids in bathing suits. There were a number of photos that matched the color gradient, I guess.
Okay. Thank you. That'll be all.
Any additional questions on the defense?
No, Your Honor.
May we excuse the witness?
Yes, Your Honor.
The witness is excused. Thank you for your testimony. Mr. Bankston, do you have any additional witnesses?
Yes, Your Honor. At this time, we would like to call Senator Damon Gazum, please.
Your Honor, if you would humor us here, if you'd raise your left hand, please. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under the pain and penalty of perjury?
So help me God.
Please have a seat.
Good afternoon, and thank you for being here. Could you please state your name and your occupation?
Yes, my name has been pronounced horribly during this. I want to correct that. It's actually a Creole, French Creole name. It's not pronounced Gazum, which is somewhat offensive. It is Jism. That's how it's pronounced. My name is Senator Damon Jism. I am a four-term senator from the great state of Texas.
I'm from Southern Louisiana. I haven't heard that name before. Are you familiar with the organization, the Coalition for Moral Order?
Yes, I am. I've been behind them ever since they formed 10 years ago, approximately 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Did you attend the Coalition for Moral Order, the Coalition for Moral Order's SMUT conference in 2006?
If you're referring to the Society's Morals Under Threat conference, then yes, I did. That's actually, we pronounce it SMOOT, is how we pronounce that.
I see. I'm so sorry.
SMUT would be offensive.
Pardon me, Senator. I wanted to see if you recognize a few of the exhibits that have been admitted to evidence. Could we show Exhibit 6, please?
Do we have to show?
I'm afraid we do need you to authenticate these.
Please show Exhibit 6.
Okay.
And can you identify this?
Yes, I can identify that.
And what is that?
That is an email that I sent from the conference.
Okay, moving on to Exhibit 7. Senator?
Yes.
Can you identify Exhibit 7? I realize this may be very embarrassing for you, but it must be done.
Yeah, I recognize that. That's a picture that I sent with the email.
Okay.